Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a couple of cards working with this new suite called Painterly Pears. And it comes with this stamp and die set called Perfectly Pears. And so here are the stamps. And there are dies that cut out a lot of the pear shapes, and some of them actually out of the pattern paper. I'll show you here in a minute. So you get a stamp and die set. You get this green, let's see, what's this? This is Mossy Meadow and Gold Ribbon, which is just beautiful. You get some gems that are low profile sparkle dots, which is very hard to say. And they come in 3 colors. So this is Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. So some of the new in colors in this suite. And here's the paper. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 different patterns, 2 sheets of each pattern. And this is just beautiful paper. Now, I have to admit, when I first saw this paper, I thought, what in the world am I going to do with pears? It's just such an odd thing. But I got the paper anyway, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a chance, and I'm really glad I did because it's just beautiful, and it makes beautiful cards. So here are the fronts of the different papers, and let me show you the backs real quick. So the backs are always a little more muted and a little more tone on tone from the A side of the paper, but still just beautiful. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you the cards that I put together for this. So the first one that we're going to start with here, I used this piece of paper here that is this beautiful, has a nice border and this big space in the middle. And this would make a great page for a scrapbooking layout because you could, put pictures and things here in the middle and still have all this good design on the outside. But I decided to make cards out of it, and so I cut this up, and this is one of the pieces here, one corner of this paper. So we're going to use this on the card, but stick around to the end and I'm going to show you how I used the entire rest of that piece of paper on some other cards. So we've got our pattern paper. I've got a card base out of Darling Duckling that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give this a good burnish. I've got a piece of Secret Sea that is, let me just check, 5 by 4 1/4, so that's going to be our second layer. And then our piece of pattern paper, which is, let's see, this is about 5 by 4. So let's go ahead and get our layers down. So we're going to start with our Secret Sea layer. Let me get my seal started here. I just put in a refill, so sometimes you gotta coax it along to start. So I'm gonna do this centered, and then we're gonna center our pattern paper on our Secret Sea. So I'm gonna make this card go this way so that our pears are right side up. So let's get this piece on here. Let me scoot it over just a hair here. I left a very small border between the pattern paper and the Secret Sea piece. I wanted just a little bit, there we go. Just a little bit of the Secret Sea peeking out. So there's that. We've also got our piece here of basic white that's 5 by 4 1/4 that we're going to put on the inside. So we are going to use, and actually I just forgot, we're supposed to put our little ribbon on here. So let me get this back up here for a second. All right, take 2. Hold on. Okay, I want to put this piece of ribbon on here just like this. And we're going to put it on here with some, I got ahead of myself, some tear and tape. So let me just, we can fix it. It's fine. We'll just put some tear and tape on here. And then we'll put it back down once we get our ribbon wrapped around it. So I'm going to take the backing off the tear and tape here. Just like this. Okay, now I'm going to take my ribbon. So one side of this is gold and one side is more mossy meadow. So I want the mossy meadow side up. So I'm just going to put this on the tear and tape and just bring it around the front of the card and then stick it to our tear and tape on this side. And then I'm going to trim the ends off because we want to avoid a whole bunch of bulk back here. Let's make sure it's straight, which I don't think it is now. Hang on. Let's get this straightened up here. There we go. Okay, so now we're good. Perfect. All right. Now we'll get it back down on our card base. Okay, so let me just put a little bit more of seal on here just so we make sure it sticks again. And there we go. Now we're going to put that right down there. Just beautiful. Okay, so there's that. Now, we'll put our ribbon out of the way. And I think we're done with the tear and tape for now. So now I have a piece of Darling Duckling here that I have cut from the Spotlight on Nature dies. So I used one of the circles here. Let's see, it's this one right here. So the second from the middle. And we're going to stamp on that. So we're going to stamp our greeting here. And then we're going to pop it up right here in the top upper right hand of our card. So we're going to stamp with Secret C. So let me get our ink out. So on the front, I'm going to put thank you. And I'm using the thank you from the Perfectly Pears stamp set. So I'm going to use this thank you. And then on the inside, we're going to do a good friend as a gift. So also from this same stamp set. So let's go ahead and ink up our thank you. And we'll go ahead and get that just centered onto this little circle here. Just like that. There we go. I just love the font on this. I just love cursive font when they do that. It's just so elegant. Okay, then we'll go ahead and we'll put this the right way because you guys know I'm awful about getting the inside sentiment correctly aligned on the card. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're doing it right this time. So we're going to put this right here. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put the ink away for now. And we'll go ahead and get this on the inside, and then we'll finish our front up. So let's get this in here. Okay, so we got our inside. Now, I'm going to pop this up on Dimensionals just to give it a little bit of lift there. Take the backs off. I'm going to put this right up here in the corner, just like that. Okay, now let's do some gems, and then we've got a bow left. I made a bow out of this same ribbon here, and I'm just going to take a glue dot and stick it on right in there. So I'm going to just roll one of these glue dots off of here. Let's see, I'm thinking somewhere right here in the middle. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a glue dot on underneath this to keep that down first, and then we'll use another one on top. Okay, so we'll put it right here, and we'll get our bow. Just going to lay it down right there, and then we can finagle it just a little bit. Get it how we want it. There we go. And then I'm going to trim the ends a little bit. At least this side looks a little long. And maybe this side too. Just a tad bit there. There we go. Okay, so there's our bow. Just too cute. Okay, so there's that. Now, gems. I want to use the Mossy Meadow on this one, so we're going to use, let's see, we're going to put a big one. Let's see, let's put one here, and then a smaller one right here, and another small one we'll do, if I can get it off the sheet. Oh my goodness, come on. So stick to everything but where it's supposed to. So we'll put this one down here, just like that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so there's our first card. Now I'm going to set it to the side, and we're going to delve into our second one here. So our second one is going to be not out of that piece of paper, but out of a different set of paper. So I've got a Secret C card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give it a good burnish here just to make sure it lays flat. I've got an inside piece of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got this piece. So here's what we're going to do on the outside of the card. So once again, we're going to make this a landscape card like this. And I took a piece, let's see, this is 3 1/4 by 4, and it's going to go here. So basically I took a piece that was 4 by 5 1/4, and I took off 1 inch on each side of the paper. So here's how the paper, let's see, I think it was like, if I can hang on to this piece, just like this, okay? But instead of doing it like this, I'm going to flip these over so that we can have some of that Darling Duckling show up on the outside here. I also have a piece of ribbon here that is, let's see, what is this called? It is called Night of Navy and Gold. Now, Night of Navy obviously isn't the Secret C, but it's so close that I think it still works with this card. So, we are going to put this, I'll show you what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to put these pieces down. So let me get this out of the way. So let's get this down in the middle. Actually, what I want to do, I think, is I'm going to put the edges down first. So let's go ahead and, let's see, we're going to put that like that. So this one, we're going to put seal on this side. And this one, we want to do seal on this side. Okay, so we're going to put our edges down first, just so that we can control the amount of space that we have on the edge here and on the bottom. I'm not so much worried about the top to bottom, because that's the easy part. But it's getting it so that your spacing is good. I'm not going to push it down really hard yet. I'll try to get this one on with the same spacing. Okay, and then we'll get our middle piece down. Alright, so we need to move our edge pieces over just a bit because there's no space now between our middle piece and our edge pieces. So I'm just going to move this over a tiny bit. Just like that. Except it's a little, needs to go up just a tad bit here. There we go. Whoop. Not stick to me and stick to the paper, we'd be in good shape. All right, there we go. Just like that. Okay, so that one looks good. And I'm going to scoot this one over just a tad this way so that we have just a little bit of gap between this and the pattern paper in the middle. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So there's that piece. Now, I'm going to put this piece of ribbon across right here. So we're going to flip this over. And once again, we're going to use our tear and tape. So I want this to be in the middle. So I'm just going to put this right there. And then a piece on this side. We'll get the backing off. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to use this side because I think it's a little shinier. And I want that side to be up. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to run it over here to the other side. Just like this. Okay, I'm going to trim this. All right, now, so beautiful, it looks on the outside. Okay, so that looks perfect, and we're going to put our sentiment then after we stamp on it right on this. This came from the Nested Essential Dies, this one was, but we're going to stamp on it first. But you might be thinking, okay, but what about the inside? Because who wants to see this, right? That's kind of ugly. So I cut another piece of the pattern paper that is 4 by 5.5, sorry. And I'm going to put this on the inside. And I just haven't decided yet which I want. Do I want the pears on the inside? Or do I want the yellow on the inside? I kind of think I like the pears, but that's just because I think they're beautiful. So I think we're going to put the pears on the inside, and what a surprise when they open the card that they're going to find this beautiful, beautiful showing here of pears. So we're just going to put this right here. And now that covers up our ribbon. Let's make sure. Let's see, I think I need to move it up just a tad bit on this edge here, because we need our card to still shut. Yeah, okay. So we've got that, and we'll give it another burnish here just because I've put that other layer in there. We need to, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now let's do some stamping. So we're going to do, on this one, what am I going to do? I'm going to do, Time to Celebrate on this one, which comes from the butterflies. Let's see, it comes from this beautiful butterfly set. So Time to Celebrate. And then on the inside, I'm going to put Happy Birthday. And the Happy Birthday I'm using is coming from our Charming Day set. So this birthday right here. Once again, we're going to stamp in Secret C. So let's get this open. And we're going to do, let's do our inside first. So we're going to do our Happy Birthday. And we're going to use our favorite red rubber stamp here. I don't know if you all heard, but Stampin' Up! Made an announcement this past week that they're going to stop making these red rubber stamps because they're having a hard time sourcing the material that they're made out of. So they're going to move to everything's just going to be photopolymer. So no more red rubber. Which I guess is kind of bittersweet because, yes, they're a pain to use. At least I find them that way. But on the other hand, you get really good detail out of them. Perfect. So I'm not sure if I'm happy or sad about that announcement, but I guess we'll go with it. All right, so we're going to ink up our Time to Celebrate. Make sure I get it all good and inked up. And then we're going to put that right in the middle of our little, whatever you call this shape. Right like here. I'm just going to make sure I put pressure all the way across the stamp because sometimes I find that one side or the other won't come off if I don't. So there we go. Time to Celebrate. Okay, so let's get this on the inside, and then we'll pop up our sentiment on the outside with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Isn't that just beautiful? Okay, so we're going to put this right here. There we go. And then we'll grab some Dimensionals. And we'll pop this up, right like this. And get the backings off of this, and we'll get it on the front. And we're going to put it right like this. right across there, just like that. Okay, and last thing would be some gems, and I think, I don't know, green or blue. I think we'll use, let's use a couple of these Secret Sea ones. Let's see, where should we put some? Maybe up here, and down here, and one more little one over here. How's that? Perfect. Okay, so yeah, here are the 2 cards we made today. Both very, this is just beautiful paper. I mean, you would never think that it was going to make such cute cards. Okay, so let me show you. I promised we'll go through the rest of the cards that came from this sheet of paper. So this piece of paper, and then out of that piece of paper, I got this card. I've got this one, and this one opens like this. So it says, thinking of you. In case you need me, I'm here. So that's cute. We've got this one, which is a happy birthday card, and I used some of that same Night of Navy and Gold ribbon for that one. And this one, a good friend is a gift. And thanks for being you. And then this one, we went with Old Olive as our card base. So again, thanks for being you, and you made my day. And I even put some pears there on the inside of that one. Very cute. And this is a nice congratulations card. So this was like the 3 little pieces of paper that I had left after cutting all the rest of this out of the paper. And I thought, well, I'm not going to waste that because it's just beautiful. So I put these 2 pieces, which are the same, down here, and I popped this middle one up. And then, so we got congratulations and time to celebrate. So all of these came from that one piece of paper. And then this one, we're going to put here, came from a different piece of paper. So there we go. Our Painterly Pears Suite. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload videos, because we're going to, one of the next videos that's going to go up is we're going to have a card kit made out of this same suite here, where I'm going to put 3 cards together that you can then get free with an order on my Stampin' Up website. So we will go through all of the details of that when I get that video up. But in the meantime, leave me a comment. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. And everybody that leaves a comment on this video between today and next Saturday, I will put everybody's name in a drawing, and I'm going to pick one out, and you can get one of these cards for free. I will send it to you. So make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. And I guess that's all I have for today, and I will talk to you all later. So have a crafty day. Bye.